This question is about partnership, withdrawal, and admission. And this question is just related to the retirement of Albert. That means it's about withdrawal of partners. There is no admission of partners in this question. Okay, before you go, you should note the profit and loss sharing ratio and these figures. Remember the thousands figures. Say for example 100 here means 100,000. Remember, okay? And right here you'll see that Albert will retire on the 1st of January, and the other partners, Bob and Cindy, will continue to operate as partners. The sharing profit and loss in the same ratio. I've made a note here. The profit and loss ratio for these three partners was 3 to 2 to 1. Right here, Albert retired, so we delete this 3, so their ratios become 2 to 1. And how about Albert? Albert once left the partnership, the balance that he should have got was made a loan to the partnership. Instead of getting money, getting a check from the partnership. So go on. When we deal with the admission or withdrawal of partners, we should note the revaluation of the assets. Right here, we have premises, plant and machinery, delivery vans, inventory, accounts receivable. Okay. Coming back, we see premises was revalued to some certain amount, plant and machinery revalued to a certain amount. So, we do not actually revalue accounts receivable or trade receivables, but there should be some point which affect the balance of the trade receivables. Was that the ADD allows for double debts may be reduced or may be increased. Okay, you should know about this. And for inventory valuation, there may be some errors. Right here, you see an error in the inventory sheets. So the inventory, once being investigated, you'll see that there may be a reduction or an increase in the inventory. As well, goodwill should be valued for admission or withdrawal of partners. But you should know that in gray color here, you should consider if the goodwill account was to be open or not. This question, no account was to be maintained in the books. So you should know about these important points. So the requirement was to prepare the capital accounts in a columnar format and a statement of financial position of the new partnership. That means the two remaining partners after Albert has left. So for these columns, remember Albert, Bob, Cindy, the formula is negative, positive, plus. So we first write down balance brought down. Remember thousands figures should be written here. You just copy the balance sheet here. Just write down these three figures. Okay, and then for goodwill, we should adjust. We should return the goodwill to all these three partners in the ratio 3 to 2 to 1. Remember this, 3 to 2 to 1. And because the question told us that there would not be goodwill account anymore, so we will adjust the goodwill account by reducing the amount of goodwill. But remember right here, we do not have Albert. But we make use of the ratio. How about the ratio? The ratio was 2 to 1, right? 2 to 1 to share the goodwill here. And as well, there must be profit on revaluation here or loss on revaluation here. But we do not know until we prepare the revaluation account. This is a very important point that you should note here. For revaluation account, you should remember this. When there are two values. One is the revalue amount, another is the net book value. Okay, when the revalue amount is greater than the net book value, we put the difference between these two figures on the right side. That means I always told you that is a good sign for revaluation. That means the revalue amount is greater than the net book value. You know, net book value is equal to cost minus AD. Cost minus AD. Okay, on the other hand, when the revalue amount is less than net book value, we write the difference. The difference should be bigger figure minus a smaller figure on the left side. Okay, I always give you a note here that because ADD is not a good thing. I told you before, ADD is not a good thing. If that kind of bad thing had a decrease, that means bad things decrease means good things. I repeat, bad things decrease means good things. So right here is good things. So we put decrease in ADD here. On the other hand, increase in DDD on the left side. Okay. Once we all put all those figures here, you'll see there may be a profit on revaluation here, or of course loss on revaluation on the right side. Once we have this figure, say for example we have 2,000. Say for example 3,000, 2,000, 1,000. We will make use of the double entry system to post to here 3,000, 2,000, and 1,000. Okay. Remember, when Albert is going to leave, he has to get back everything. So we should go back to the balance sheet before Albert left. First of all, we'll note how much, here, we should note how much Albert has in his current accounts. Remember, current account may be positive or negative. Okay, if Albert has a positive figure, we put it here on the right side, okay, so that Albert can get everything back. If Albert has a negative balance in the current account, we call it deficit. Okay, deficit. So we put $1,000 on the left side. So right here you see the current account. It should be 1,000 negative. Okay, remember current account does not have positive or negative. Okay, but for columnar form, that's right here. You may put positive or negative bracket, okay, or positive figures to represent negative balance or positive balance. Okay, and remember you should look thoroughly if there are loans made by Albert, but right here you did not see any loans made by Albert. Otherwise, we'll return the loans to Albert by putting the figures on the right side, on the credit side. Okay, remember? Okay, once we have sum up all the figures, say for example, Albert $50,000, $50,000 here. Look at this. Albert does not have any balance carried on because Albert has left. He did not have balance carried on. But you should see a bracket here. You should see the allocation of the balance. Okay, $50,000. That means Albert can get back $49,000. So you should refer back to the other information, how much or the allocation of the balance in their business. You see this in green that Albert was left as a loan. That means all the amount was left as a loan. Okay, so we put here 49,000 in loan from Bob. Okay, but if the question told you that there may be some amount withdrawn by Albert, so you should write the amount here. This is the technique you should note. Okay, but remember for the other partners, Bob and Cindy, look at this. They should remember the current account of Bob and Cindy should not be touched because they continue to do business. Okay, they will not get back their current account. Okay, but they should have some amount, say for example amount balance carried on, something like that. Okay, you should calculate this, which should be the opening balance of the new partnership after Albert has left. Okay. So the question part B requires to prepare the statement of financial position for the remaining partners as at 1st of January. You see that this in yellow color because Albert was still in the business, we used net book value to represent the balance of the premises. Okay, that means the cost minus accumulated depreciation. But once Albert left, and the amount has been revalued, okay, revalued, so we just put the revalue amount right here. Okay, right here. Say for example, if the premise was to be valued at, say for example, $800,000, we just put and copy and paste the figure 800,000. Of course, there must be 1,000 here. Okay, so we skip thousands. Otherwise, the figure will be 100,000 fold. Okay, 1,000 fold. Okay, so delivery rental revaluation has been made for the delivery rent, so this figure should be the same as the delivery rents at net book value. Just copy this answer. Okay, so coming back, inventory. Inventory, say for example, if the inventory here is $6,000, and right here the inventory valuation should be, say for example, reduce. We say that, okay, reduce by 1,000. Okay, that means the actual inventory should be 5,000. Okay, 6,000 minus 1,000 instead of 6,000. So we copy 5,000 here. Okay, 5,000 here, or you see this amount. We check this amount. So for some mistake, this is 1,000. This is 6,000, but we have thousands, so it should be 6 million. Okay, so just minus $1,000 here. The figures here should be 5,999. Okay, it's just an exaggeration, but it's very important for students to know how to deal with these figures and this amount 1,000. Okay, remember. So and so trade receivables. Look at this. The allowance. So double that. Say again. Reduce or increase. Okay, increase by, say for example, 50,000, and the trade receivables for the net value is let me see. 50,000, say for example, again, million. Okay, million, and this one 50,000, 6 million 50,000. So the figures would be 6 million minus 50,000. Okay, so you should know about this. Okay, the amount should be ignore these thousands figures. It should be 5,950. Okay, for the bank balance, look at this. Apart from this amount bank here, you should know that if there right here are the information, if it involves a bank payment for Albert's. Okay, look at this. For capital, you see, Albert did not withdraw any check or money from the partnership. So this bank account was the same as before. Okay, you just copy this amount. And for this one, Bob and Cindy, we just copy these two figures. Okay, in the capital account. Okay, and for current account, copy the original current account before Albert has left, and no change for trade receivables, and there happened to be a loan from Bob. Okay, write the balance here. Right here you see the copy the figure here, loan from Bob, 49,000. thousand. Okay, look at this. That's the end of this question.